Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, is everybody watching the Super Bowl? Because this is the boring wait before the halftime. There's absolutely nothing on television right now. So come in here and hear my review of the new Mike Cernovich film, Hoaxed, which I just finished today. As soon as we get 1,000, I'll talk about it. But first, will you join me in the simultaneous sip, the second one of the day? Good stuff. All right. So, let me start with my bias going into this. So before I watched the film Hoaxed, I had low expectations for the following reasons. Number one, I'm in it. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm in this thing, how good can it be? And I thought, well, the things I said were not that spectacular, so, you know, how good can this movie be? And I also thought to myself, I feel like I know what it's going to be about. It's going to be the news is fake, and there'll be examples, and then I'll think, I kind of knew that. So going in, the only thing I knew about it is that the production values were excellent because I'd seen the trailers. So the trailers looked amazing. And I'd also been hearing privately from a lot of people. So a lot of people had been DMing me to say they'd already seen it, and 100% of them said it was great, that they really enjoyed it. But I thought, well, I don't know if I trust them. Maybe they just like the message, or they like Cernovich or something. And of course, he's a first-time filmmaker. So I thought, well, how good can it be, right? So I started watching it, and I'll skip to the end. It's a frickin' masterpiece. It's really, really good. And I'll tell you this about it so that you can watch it for maximum enjoyment. Oh, somebody's saying it's his second film. To watch it for maximum enjoyment, I'm gonna reveal a little bit without giving anything away. All right. What I'm going to reveal without giving away any plot is that the last third of it, and maybe the last 15 minutes, make sure that you lock the door, turn off all of your devices, and just make sure that you're watching that last 10 minutes without any interruption. It'll blow your mind. Now, the thing that you'll also not realize is that the entire first 2/3 of the film are setting you up for a finish that is one of the best I've ever seen in any form. It's spectacular. So once you understand that the first part is they're basically softening you up, getting you into a frame of thinking, and you think you know where this movie is going, and then, holy hell, I'll tell you a couple of things that surprised me. So the last two speakers in the film, and again, I don't want to give too much away, but one is Jordan Peterson. And he reached into my brain and reprogrammed it in real time. I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite that dramatic in terms of having somebody just reframe my brain, while I was experiencing it. It was the damnedest thing. And then Stefan Molyneux does an extended piece that is so good. I mean, it's just so good that you just have to see it. And the two of those pieces fit together for the best movie ending I think I've seen in years, probably, of any type, not just documentary. It's truly mind-blowing. Now, I'll tell you one other little trick. If you have the option to watch the last 10-15 minutes of it outdoors, and I was doing it on the beach, so I was just on a secluded beach by myself. Well, it was secluded because the weather was bad, not because it was secluded. But there weren't any other people around. And I was outdoors, and I was looking at the ocean, and it was this beautiful landscape. And then I experienced the end of this movie, and I swear to God, it's just mind-blowing. And you just won't know where it's going until you get to the end. So, I would say very rarely have I felt as much from a film. Somebody's asking me if I cried. Yes. About 5 minutes after I was done, which is unique. While it was happening, I was just sort of blown away. But like 5 minutes later, I actually teared up after it was over. So it's incredibly well done. So here's the part that is interesting. I didn't think you could craft as much of a, let's say, a story arc as this does. You know, I thought it was going to be sort of a straightforward, hey, here's a bunch of fake news, here's a bunch of fake news. And it starts out like it's going to do that. But man, you have to, don't be interrupted the last 10 minutes. It's well done on, I would say, every level. From directing to writing to, you know, just the way they pieced it together to create a higher level feeling. This thing operates on several levels, and I'm not sure everybody's going to pick up all the levels, but it's pretty transforming. Somebody says, "Do I get royalties?" I do not. No, I'm just one of the people interviewed in the movie. Anyway, so if you get a chance to check it out, you'd really be doing yourself a favor. How did it transform me? Again, I don't want to give away too much, but I'll just tell you that the Jordan Peterson part, I think he changed my religious filter in like just a couple minutes. He said something so profound that I'd never really heard put in those words, that it made me question. Yeah, it was just mind bending. And you know, I'd listened to a lot of him before, and I hadn't heard him talk about the topic that he talked about on this. I've seen quite a bit of his clips on YouTube and stuff. So that's all I needed to say. I'm going to keep it short. The Super Bowl halftime's on. Let's go watch that. Talk to you later.